Boeing's new CEO officially took the helm of the aerospace giant today. Robert Kelly Ortberg is from Dubuque, Iowa, and was a former CEO at commercial and defense supplier Rockwell Collins. The 64-year-old has decided to work out of Boeing's offices in Seattle to be closer to production and help restore trust in the company. A series of manufacturing mistakes in recent years has led to 2 crashes and 1 major accident. Boeing executives were grilled yesterday by the National Transportation Safety Board over that mid-air door plug blowout on one of its planes earlier this year. CBS News senior transportation correspondent Kris Van Cleave has been following that for us. Kris, always good to see you. Can you remind us about Ortberg's background and why he may have been selected to put the company on a corrective course?
Well, he's got 3 decades of experience in the aerospace industry, leads Rockwell Collins, which is a very respected aerospace manufacturer. They build avionics, for example, for airplanes, among other things. They do IT services as well. This was a pick that was sort of universally applauded by Boeing. I think it also had the benefit of him being an outside candidate. I think certainly Wall Street and regulators were interested in kind of a fresh change, somebody who didn't have direct ties to Boeing. When Dave Calhoun was brought in to be the CEO, the most recent outgoing CEO, Dave Calhoun, he was already on the board of Boeing. So he essentially was part of the company in some fashion. This is now you're bringing an outsider in, fresh eyes, somebody who's certainly familiar with Boeing, who has worked with Boeing throughout his career, but is coming from the outside. And, whenever you're the outsider in a new place, you see things that the people that have been there a long time may not see. So I think it is an effort by Boeing to signal that they are serious about making a fresh start, about making changes, and bringing in somebody from the outside helps them do that.
Yeah, a clear strategy there. Transparency around manufacturing issues took center stage in the NTSB hearings this week over the Alaska Airlines door blowout. What were the key takeaways, and how does Ortberg plan to change the perception of this company in terms of safety and reliability for consumers? Because that video was just terrifying.
Yeah, I think Boeing will tell you that they've already started a course correction. So what we learned in this hearing was, one, a look at what was a chaotic manufacturing process that led up to the accident in January where that door panel blew out. But what you're also hearing in that panel, particularly from the union labor side that was represented, was a feeling that while Boeing feels like it's making changes and it's communicating better and improving training, that there's work to do. I think some of the other things we learned in this hearing is that Boeing is redesigning that door panel in an attempt to create a piece that won't fail like this one did, that couldn't be mounted into place if it's not bolted in properly. They're looking at also running like a lanyard through the bolts so that there's one more check. There, I think that's a new piece of news that they are redesigning that component. But I think what people wanted to hear from them was a promise that something like this would never happen again. You didn't hear that level of guarantee, but clearly a message of that they're taking it seriously and working to do everything they can to avoid another mistake like that.
Yeah, it has not been a good year for Boeing. Rebuilding that trust will be an uphill battle. Kris Van Cleave, thank you so much.